I found out my wife drained our joint savings account to bail out her ex, and when I confronted her, she didn't even flinch, just stared at me like I was the one who'd done something wrong. My name's Ethan, and up until that moment I thought I had a pretty good life. Married for 6 years to Clara. Living in a cozy little house just outside Denver. With a dog named Rusty who'd greet me every day by dropping his slobbery tennis ball at my feet. We weren't perfect, but we were happy, or so I thought. We'd built a life together, saving up for a dream trip to Italy, maybe even a kid someday. That savings account was our future. Every penny scraped from my late nights at the auto shop and her part-time gig at the library. $32,000 gone in a single day. Started with little things. Clara's phone would buzz at odd hours and she'd snatch it up, angle the screen away, or step outside to take the call. I didn't think much of it at first. She'd always been private and I trusted her. But then she started coming home late from work, saying she had to cover a shift or help with inventory. I'd nod, kiss her forehead, and ignore the unease creeping into my gut. I'd tell myself, Ethan, you're overthinking. She loves you. She's just busy. But the late nights piled up, and so did the excuses. One evening I caught her texting in the kitchen, her face pale, fingers trembling. "Who's that?" I asked, casual as I could manage. She jumped, locked her phone, and muttered, "Just a friend from work." Her smile was tight, like she was holding her breath. I started paying attention after that. She'd leave her laptop open sometimes, and I'd see emails from someone named Jay. Short, vague messages like, "Thanks for being there," or, "I'll pay you back, I swear." I didn't want to be that guy, snooping through her stuff, but the knot in my stomach wouldn't loosen. One night, while she was in the shower, I checked her phone. I know, invading her privacy wasn't my proudest moment, but I had to know. The texts were from Jake, her ex from before we met. "I'm in deep this time, Clara. I need you." My heart sank. Jake was trouble, always had been, from what she'd told me. A guy who'd burned through her trust years ago with his gambling and lies. Why was she talking to him now? The real gut punch came a week later. I was at the bank depositing a paycheck when the teller mentioned our savings account was looking low. I laughed it off, thinking it was a mistake, but when I checked the balance, my knees buckled. $32,000 down to $100. I stood there staring at the screen, my pulse hammering in my ears. Called Clara right away. "Hey, did you move our savings or something?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She paused too long. "No, I don't think so. Must be a bank error. I'll call them." Her voice was shaky, like she was scrambling for a lie. I didn't push her then. I couldn't. I just sat in my truck outside the bank, gripping the steering wheel, telling myself there had to be an explanation. That night, I waited until we were eating dinner, spaghetti, her favorite, though she barely touched it. "Clara," I said, setting down my fork, "what happened to our money?" She froze, her eyes darting to her plate. "I told you, it's probably a glitch." Her voice was sharp now, defensive. I leaned forward, my chest tight. "Don't lie to me." I saw the withdrawal. 32 grand, Clara. "Where is it?" She pushed her chair back, stood, and started pacing. "Okay, fine," she snapped. "I gave it to Jake. He was in trouble, Ethan. He owed some bad people money and they were going to hurt him. I had to help." I felt like I'd been slapped. "Jake? Your ex? You took our savings, our future, to bail him out." My voice cracked and I hated how small I sounded. She crossed her arms, tears welling up, but her jaw was set. "He didn't have anyone else. You don't understand what it's like to owe people like that." I stood up, my chair scraping the floor. "And I don't deserve to know? You didn't think to talk to me first?" "That was our money, Clara," she shouted back. "I didn't think you'd understand. You're always so practical, Ethan. You'd have said no." I stared at her, this woman I loved, who just admitted she chose her ex over me, over us. "You're damn right I'd have said no," I said quietly, "because I thought we were a team." I didn't sleep that night. I lay on the couch, Rusty curled up beside me, while Clara stayed in our bedroom. My mind raced. Anger, betrayal, heartbreak all tangled together. I thought about the late-night calls, the emails, the way she'd been pulling away for months. Had she ever stopped loving Jake? Was I just the safe choice, the guy who paid the bills while she held on to her past? By morning I'd made up my mind. I wasn't going to let this destroy me. I went to the bank first thing. The account was joint, so I transferred half of what was left, $50, a pathetic amount, into a new account in my name. Then I moved half of our checking account too. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I didn't tell Clara. I wanted her to feel the same shock I had. When she checked the account later that day, she freaked out just like I knew she would. "Ethan, what did you do?" she yelled, storming into the living room. "You took our money." I looked her dead in the eyes. "No, Clara. I took my half. You gave yours to Jake. Fair's fair." Her face crumpled, and for a second I almost felt guilty. But then I remembered her lies, her choice, and I held firm. We tried to talk it out over the next few days, but every conversation ended in tears or shouting. She swore she didn't love Jake, that it was just guilt from their past. But the trust was gone. I couldn't look at her without seeing that empty bank account, without wondering what else she'd hidden. A month later I moved out, taking Rusty and my half of everything. I rented a small apartment, started rebuilding my savings, and tried to make sense of the hole in my chest. Looking back, I don't hate Clara. I hate what she did, how she broke us without a second thought. I'm still figuring out who I am without her, but I know one thing. I'm done being the guy who trusts blindly. Sometimes, love isn't enough when secrets tear it apart. And as I sit here tossing Rusty's tennis ball across the park, I can't help but wonder if she's still bailing out Jake. Or if she's finally learned what it costs to betray someone who loved her.